Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Hannah Olson and I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mama to 3 little ones. We live in Minnesota and I love sharing here on my YouTube channel and on my blog all things motherhood, homemaking, and homeschooling. I'm excited about today's video. It's a collaboration with my friend Elli Hurst. I've loved Elli's content for a long time. She's a stay-at-home mama to 4 little ones, and they live on a homestead, so it's really fun to see glimpses of her life there. Elli's videos are so peaceful, her home is so cozy. She is a minimalist. Her approach to living a minimalist lifestyle is so inspiring in her home, in her wardrobe, the list goes on. I know you'll be inspired by her content as well. So be sure to head over to her channel. It's Elli Hurst, and I'll link it down below, and I'll link her Instagram too. I'm so excited to be collaborating with her today, and be sure to check out her channel and tell her that I sent you. Today I thought I'd bring you along with us for a day in our life, and like most mornings we try to start off our morning basket time at the breakfast table. We're learning about birds this morning, and this is a really fun Peterson field guide, and alongside it I've been reading this Burgess bird book for children, so that's been a really fun way to learn about birds. And then I send the kids off to play for just a little bit while I tidy up after breakfast time, because we do the bulk of our homeschooling at the kitchen table, and I want to get it all cleared off and cleaned and ready for the school day. Now, this is when I typically call the kids back and we start doing our academic portion of the school day, but today I had a crock-pot recipe that I really wanted to get going before the rest of the day got going. You know how that goes. So I decided to let them play a little longer, and I got to work on prepping that. I had actually prepped some of the ground beef. I had cooked the ground beef the night before and cooked the bacon the night before, which was such a blessing. I love when past Hannah does something to bless future Hannah or current Hannah. And so I just had to chop up things like bell peppers and get the beans rinsed and ready. It was a pretty simple recipe, but I'm so glad that I had done a little bit of that prep work in advance. So here's the ground beef that I had cooked up the night before. I'm so glad I did that. And then I also had a little bag of bacon that I had also baked the night before. So that felt really good to get that going, get that ready in the crock pot. Plus it had a little bit of a sauce that I had to whip up. And then we really truly were set for the school day. Plus dinner was cooking all day, which is an extra gift. So we have an almost 7.5-year-old, an almost 5.5-year-old, and an almost 2-year-old. It will soon eventually get easier to say all of that. But Sophie, our oldest, is in 1st grade, and Soren, our second born, is in pre-K this year. And Svea is just our very busy 2-year-old who comes along for the ride. And recently we've been working on copywork a little bit more. I absolutely love these copywork pages, or just writing pages that I found on Amazon. I will link them down below because they have been so helpful with our handwriting work and just trying to get printing skills solidified, because they lay such a good foundation. And the reason I love these, and actually the reason why I chose them, is because these writing pages have a sky at the top and then grass or the ground at the bottom, which really helps kids to conceptualize which letters are tall and which ones, most letters need to be sitting on the ground, and that really has helped us. So they're really fun. It can always be interesting teaching two students with a 2-year-old in the mix, but I've found it is so rewarding, and it's really good for Svea to see the daily routine we have and the school time rhythms that we incorporate into every day, because I know before long she will be of school age and she'll just become a seamless part of it, I know. So I just want to encourage you, if you're in the same boat as me, to keep laying that strong foundation in your schooling routines, and the little ones will soon become a part of it. Do you like Svea's chocolatey face here? We don't usually do this, but we did a mid-morning snack, and I had made these more healthy, I guess, chocolate peanut butter cups, and everyone loved those. They had oats in them. But it was time to make lunch. I know I show a lot of fun cooking and meals on my channel. I love sharing different recipes that I'm trying out, but this is an example of a more quick lunch. This is something I like to keep on hand in the freezer for those days when I glance up at the clock and realize it is definitely lunchtime, or maybe school has gone longer like it did today. So this is just a frozen, it's pre-cooked Trader Joe's meal. It is chicken fried rice, and then I always pour in extra frozen peas, which makes it an easy lunch. I try to add a little extra veggies in there. But I wanted to show you this new way, I know it's not really that earth-shattering, a new way to cut these cuties or clementines. My kids absolutely love these, and forgive me for this dull knife that I'm trying to use here at our rental house, but I love the idea of cutting cuties in half this way. I always wash them first, but then I cut them in half, and you can use both of your thumbs together to push up the segments, push them up and kind of out from the center. It is such a genius, really simple hack, and it makes it so easy for the kids to pull the segments off themselves and really enjoy the cutie that way without me having to sit and peel with my fingers all the peels off of these clementines. And so I wanted to mention that little trick just in case you wanted to try that with your kids. And then after lunchtime, but before we played outside, I wanted to get our bagels rising. So this is Farmhouse on Boone's recipe for sourdough blueberry bagels, and I've made them twice now, and they've turned out wonderfully. They are so good. I love how the dough is so purple. It's because of the fresh blueberries, and you can see me trying to poke those dried blueberries back in. That was an extra fun touch, and the kids were so into it too. They love helping me with baking. Today I don't usually say no, but today I did just want to hurry up and get all the bagels rising so we could actually have time to play outside before quiet time. And I made a double batch of this recipe, so we would have 16 blueberry bagels, which went by fast anyway in our household. I think bagels are so cool. I love how you shape them, how you let them rise, and then you boil them to get that wonderful, typical bagel or soft pretzel outside to them. And they are surprisingly really easy to make. So I feel like this is something I'm not going to want to buy in the future. I've already been making everything sourdough bagels. I've already been making plain sourdough bagels, and now with these blueberry ones in our little repertoire, I guess, I just don't feel like going back to store-bought. They are so fun to make, and I think they're really cute too. During the kids' quiet time, which for us is a 2-hour screen-free quiet time when they are in separate rooms and Svea is napping, today I actually had a podcast interview with a friend of mine. I got to be on her podcast, which was so much fun as we talked about motherhood and homeschooling. And then after that time of the interview was over, I got to have a little bit of computer work time before the kids were done with quiet time. And then I saw that my package of Oliveda skincare products had come. I love Oliveda products so much. I feel like they have made a huge difference for my skin, and I would say I've never liked my skin as much as I do right now. It's really, these products are so effective. They are waterless skincare, so they don't have extra fillers like water as their first ingredient. So anyway, I have a whole video on my channel about my favorite Oliveda products, but also my more minimal makeup routine, so I will link that down below. But I was so thrilled to finally be able to refill some of the items I was out of. And then after nap time and quiet time, the kids got a special treat. It was a lemon blueberry bar, and Soren very much so approved of it, and everyone enjoyed that as a special snack. Had to go back outside because the weather was so beautiful. I think it was supposed to snow the very next day, so we definitely wanted to get out and enjoy the sunshine and get some vitamin D. And I like to just sit and read a book while the kids play outside and let them kind of be bored until they settle into some great imaginative play. I've been reading the book, The Collapse of Parenting, and I mentioned this book in a past vlog. I've really been loving it. I have found it absolutely fascinating. I don't agree with absolutely everything in the book, but the case studies he provides about parenting and kids in today's culture are, like I said, really interesting. And it's definitely a book that informs you, but also motivates you to change, or at least to be aware of what's going on in our culture and what might be trickling down in our own parenting. So yeah, that book has been very inspirational for me. Once we got back inside, the kids were playing again. Sometimes they play in the basement, sometimes they're playing over in the living room. And we don't do a lot of screens at all in our family. I would say we are screen light. So they were just busy off doing something, and I decided to add some Brussels sprouts to our dinner. And I also was getting the water boiling for the bagels. And the water, you actually boil it with baking soda and brown sugar, which is really fun. So you'll see me multitasking a bit here. I wanted to take a second while I am cooking here to share a little bit of encouragement with you. This is a simple tip, but I want to encourage not only myself, but encourage you not to be our own mean boss. And hopefully you haven't had a job where your employer is treating you poorly, or it feels like they're out to get you or something, but we can all guess how that feels. And as a mom, I know it can be really easy to be hard on ourselves. And whenever we are doing homemaking tasks or parenting or other mothering tasks, we are kind of our own boss. Of course, we're accountable to God, and hopefully we are a united front with our husband. But as moms, we often are steering our own ship. We're in charge of our own little sphere throughout the day in our home, and we need to not be rude to ourselves about it. We need to make sure we're not self-deprecating, extra hard on ourselves, or having unreasonable expectations. So remember, if you are speaking poorly about yourself, you are listening. So please don't be your own mean boss in this job. We can still strive for excellence. We can still have high standards and hopes and dreams and really try to do everything to the best of our ability for God's glory without becoming a mean boss to ourselves. So I just wanted to encourage you in that today, that maybe double check, make sure you are not being extra hard on yourself or having unreasonable expectations for your day, and know that you can still strive for excellence and still do a great job without being your own mean boss. I was so pleased with how those bagels turned out. They are dark looking, but don't let that scare you because they are beautifully purple and soft on the inside, and the whole family really did love them. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was fun for you to come along with us for the day. If you're new here over from Elli's channel, then welcome again, and I would be so honored if you would consider sticking around and hitting that subscribe button. I love sharing about all things motherhood, homemaking, and homeschooling. I also have a free webinar that I can link down below for you, all about productivity secrets for moms of young children. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to check out Elli's channel. I'll link that down below. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next one.
Yesterday